How are you, Andy?
Good to see you.
The Water Thieves.
Yes, sir.
What is the Water Thieves?
Well, first off, say his last name.
Well, I can't. That's why I didn't do it.
That's common spelling, man.
Yeah.
Well, let me look at it.
Can't figure that out?
Soccodato?
Oh, you're close.
Soccodato.
Soccodato.
All right.
Not bad, though, man.
Not bad.
How about what is Water Thieves? Let's go there. Talk to me.
So we are a training-based business that is designed to teach folks how to get creative with getting water, moving large volumes of water, and we're just really trying to make water supply sexy again, right? Because it's not. Most people aren't intrigued about water supply.
I don't agree with you. I think what you guys do is you provide the tools for the firefighter to become that clutch position, because your class is about moving big water, and we can talk about a water system, but I've watched you teach and I've watched your passion, and what you're doing is you're enabling a chauffeur, engineer, apparatus operator, whatever the terminology is, to have the tools in their toolbox to be that pinch hitter, and to really come through with that driving home run that we need in the fire service. And that is what, I mean, having had two guys go through your class at the Revolution, like, that is what they took home. It was this ability to be that clutch person to provide water when you need water.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. That means we're doing the right thing. But you know, like I was telling Jeremy earlier, everybody kind of is about water supply until you're doing crazy stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once you start doing big stuff and start moving a lot of water and seeing all the concepts come together, it kind of jives and people get excited about it when you're actually doing it. And here's what I like to tell people: a lot of people will take our classes and say some of the feedback is, "Wow, we'll never do that. We'll never have to do that." And you might be right. Yeah, I might lose a bet, but moving big water and doing some of these large scenarios is the only way that you're going to get competent and confident with moving water. And what I like to tell people is that it naturally is going to build in natural scenarios that you have to troubleshoot, right?
For sure. Well,
moving a lot of water naturally is going to create a scenario where, holy crow, right? We got to figure out how to fix this problem. We got air into the pump or whatever it was, and they have to troubleshoot it.
a lot of the conversation, too, though, always goes to urban engine companies, right? So we got a hydrant every 100 feet. We got a hydrant every block. And when that happens, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
We don't have to get overly creative, right?
Yeah.
We got to cover the bases, make sure we got water, we feed the lines, we're good to go. Where I think the conversation needs to really start talking about, and what you guys do is bring to the table suburban and rural tactics. 95% of the American Fire Service is not in an urban setting.
Well,
So we got to move water, and we got to move a lot of water, because typically we got larger frame construction, big square footage, large setbacks, no hydrants.
Exactly.
Put the fire out.
Exactly, right? And you know, you bring up a great point, because a lot of times we talk about hydrants make it easy. Anybody can hook to a hydrant, and eventually the department that I used to work for, right? We had 4 engines going on a box, right? If the second engine didn't do it, the third would, and the third didn't, the fourth did, right? And eventually somebody figured it out. But it's those rural water supply operations, those drafting operations that really, you know, that takes some experience and understanding and knowledge. And
I even think to watching you teach the turbo draft.
Yeah.
The device of the American Fire Service that we don't know how to use, and you hit the nail on it. It's one of the most viewed videos on a TikTok feed that we have, where people were like, "Hey, can you show us the second part of this?" Because like that's and like, but really, I mean, like, and you said it right in the video. This is not the optimal water source. This is not your go-to, but everything else has not worked out, and now this is your best option. And it's one of the things when we started this partnership to work here with Mercedes today. I remember the MegaFlow being on the end of that, and I was like, man, I screwed this up so many times, and I wish I had this class.
Well, I mean, it's funny you bring that up, right? A lot of people knock that device, and you know, it has its place. It's not the go-to every time, but when you need it, when you have a challenging water source that is away from the rig, there are a lot of creative ways that you can use that device to get water that you probably would have driven past.
And one of the things that came out of the conversation that you and I had previously on the Gospel was that apparatus design, right? Like, there's not a whole lot of different things we can do on the engines.
Yeah.
We can put compartments here, speed lays here, the back step, we can lower the hose bed, but engine size. Touch on that real quick, because that was something that I never thought of and I asked you about after seeing this.
So one of the biggest things that we ran into in Charlottesville when we were building a couple engines, I made the pitch for a bigger motor, a 600 horsepower motor. And everybody's like, well, you just want to be able to drive fast. And I said, that's not what it's about, right? Because the rig's governed either way.
Yeah.
And I said, the reason I want that bigger motor is because that truck isn't going to have to work as hard moving larger volumes of water. I can exceed a pump's rated capacity if I have enough horsepower. We just talked about it in my class earlier. There's 3 variables that affect your pump's ability to move water. The size of the impeller, the number of discharges, and the horsepower of the motor. And a lot of times people forget about that horsepower because they're like, oh, well, the manufacturer will sell me a 450 horsepower motor and that'll be fine for 90% of the time. But when I need to move a lot of water or need to do something outside the box or I'm trying to make it a little bit better, right? A bigger motor is going to make it a whole lot better for you.
And it's amazing because I remember after having the conversation with you, finding a department locally to add a source pumper for the 450 motor. They bought it for source, but they put the smallest motor in it.
Because it's usually a monetary thing, right? I can't give you exact numbers, but we're in the thousands of dollars, a couple tens of $1,000s difference price range, and I get it, man.
Awesome, brother. Thank you. I don't mean to cut it short.
No, I know. I can talk about water all the time.
I'm looking around. I'm seeing faces, guys awake.
No worries.
I want to get them all in.
I'm
Andy,
not
thanks for
saying you
sitting
have
down
to
with
go,
us.
but you can't stay here.
Water Thieves,
Thank you,
where can
Andy.
people find you? What's next for you? Talk to me.
WaterThieves.com. You can go on our website. You can look us up on Facebook at the Water Thieves and Instagram.
Awesome.
We will be in Central Illinois teaching at a conference there in a couple weeks, moving some big water in a rural setting. So
I love it.
Awesome.
Andy, thanks for sitting
thank
down
you,
with us,
Jeremy.
pal.
Appreciate it.
Aaron,